SuperTalk Mississippi media production. It's time to talk about dogs.
Bulldogs have won it.
Talkin Dawgs, that is, with Robbie Faulk, right here on SuperTalk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs is on your radio. Robbie Faulk here for another edition and a great show coming your way today here on SuperTalk 100.9. Thank you for tuning in for another episode. And folks, this is going to be our most exciting episode of all. I put it up there with all the episodes that I've been able to bring you to this point. There's only been 3. But this is going to be the most exciting. And why is it going to be the most exciting? It is game week inside the state of Mississippi, a state that lives and breathes and loves football, whether it be high school football, college, the NFL, it doesn't matter. The Magnolia State absolutely loves it, and we're going to talk about it. This whole show is nothing but football talk, and I cannot wait to talk about the Bulldogs, to talk about high school sports, whatever you guys have coming up this week. I'm really pumped about the show today, and this show brought to you, as always, every single week by Alpha Insurance and Jess Brantley and his staff over there in West Point, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to have him on board with us each and every week. Jess is one of many Alpha Insurance agents around the state of Mississippi that are here for you. They love their football. They love high school football. They're proud supporters of high school football, Mississippi State, everything in this area when it comes to the gridiron. But they love taking care of you too. And all your insurance needs can be taken care of right there at Alpha Insurance. The great thing about Alpha, along with the fact that it's so affordable, this is a group of people that truly care about you, that care about being there for you in times of need, whether it be a tree falling on your house, a cracked windshield, hitting a deer. It doesn't matter. If you have a tragic loss in your life, and if you're that person that passes away, you're putting your family on good terms, long term, thanks to life insurance policies written by people just like Jess Brantley. They're there for you in times of need. They're there to take care of your family. They are family over there at Alpha Insurance. You can find Jess at 36 South Forest Street in West Point, or you can call him, and he's there for you 24 hours a day. Sorry, Jess, but I know you're happy about that too. 662-494-4142. Go check him out. Go check out Alpha today and start saving right away. As I mentioned, I don't have to tell you, it's game week. You guys have been counting down the days since the start of summer. And for a lot of you, you've been counting down the days since the end of that football game, whether it be in high school or with Mississippi State, the last game of the Egg Bowl, the last game of the playoffs, whatever. You've been waiting for this week to arrive, and now we're 2 days away. In 2 days, we will be sitting inside Yellow Jacket Stadium in Starkville, and I'll be broadcasting that game with Jay Perry with Starkville and Oak Grove, and we're going to talk more about that game later on in the show. You're going to be sitting wherever your hometown spot is. You're going to be sitting in that seat. You're going to be watching real-life football, and that's what we live for in the South. That's what the people of Mississippi love so much, is going to their favorite spot in the stadium and watching the boys play. And it's the great thing about Mississippi, the great thing about the South. We might not have an NFL team, we might not have an NBA team or an MLB team, but we got our high school football and we got our college teams. And both of those will be in action within a 24-hour period. It's the best time of the year, and I cannot wait to fully dive into what to expect this week. We have a lot coming your way in the show. We had Jeff Lebby's press conference this week, the first press conference of the season over there at the SEAL building, and learned a few things. I'm going to dive into the depth chart. That has brought on a ton of conversation at the start of this week. On Monday, it was the talk of the message boards over there at the Maroon and White Daily message boards at On3. Come check us out today. You can get the first week for just $1. You can come be a part of the conversation. The best message board at Mississippi State, in my opinion. It's Mississippi State fans that absolutely live and breathe everything Bulldogs. Come check us out at Maroon and White Daily. But That thread within the first 30 minutes of that depth chart being out was 5 pages long. And there's a lot of things on this depth chart that I could see would cause a little bit of a ruckus. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, we're going to hear from Jeff Lebby when we get back after our first break. Jeff Lebby is going to detail a little bit of what to expect this week, what he has seen from certain position groups, how he's attacking his second year as head coach, and much more. So we will listen to Jeff Lebby when we get back, and we'll have plenty of thoughts on that when you come back to Talkin Dawgs here with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
At Bank Oklahoma, we treat our customers like neighbors, and usually they are. You're more than just an account number. At Bank Oklahoma, you have a name, a family, and hopes and dreams for your financial future. I'm Hunter Robertson at Bank Oklahoma in Bruce. We'd love to earn your business and help you reach your financial goals. Come see me or call 662-983-3700. Bank Oklahoma, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Good Hope Land and Timber is a full-service land and timber company that offers years of experience in forestry and land management. Our services include timber and land purchasing, timber management, pine plantation thinning, and development harvesting. Our company has an experienced logging force that is trained according to the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266 or visit our website at g-hope.com for all your timber harvesting and land management needs.
For more than 80 years, Fort County Electric Power Association has been providing reliable, affordable electricity to our members. We've done it with honesty, integrity, and with a special emphasis on service, and it shows. Fort County members overwhelmingly say that our electric cooperative is a name they can always trust, and that trust isn't something you can buy. It has to be earned each and every day. We're proud of the men and women of Fort County who work hard to earn our members' trust, and we're proud to serve our member owners.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking for a no-nonsense tractor with reliable power that's easy to use? Then check out Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors at H&R AgriPower in Columbus. These efficient, all-around chore tractors offer performance features that meet the demands of your task without exceeding your budget. Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors deliver all the pulling power and hydraulics you need for loading, blading, tilling, mowing, baling, and more. To learn more about Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors, visit H&R AgriPower, your local Case IH dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Tillamook County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
All right, welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. This is our 3rd episode. I've had a ton of people tell me that they've been tuning in, whether it be on the radio or online or whatever. And I just want to thank you guys for supporting the show, for listening to it, for going and sharing it, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much. I want to remind you, too, if you haven't already, go check out our podcast, Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk. Anywhere you get podcasts, it's on Spotify. I know that we've had some issues with Spotify on some of our other podcasts, like with Thunder and Lightning and myself and Brian Haydab. We've had some issues there at times with Spotify. I've checked it the last couple of weeks. It seems to be working perfectly fine. If you go there, of course, you have the Apple Podcast app on your phone. If you have an iPhone, that you should be able to listen to this with no problems, or anywhere else, wherever you get your podcasts. Go check that out today. Please go rate it. Give me 5 stars. Be nice. Brian is one of those guys. He will tell people whether you give a 5-star rating or whether you get a bad review or not. As long as you give 5 stars, he's fine with it. I want you to give a good good review too. It'd be nice. Let's be nice to people more. I try to be nice. Sometimes it doesn't come across that way, but I try. So, give me a nice review and go rate it. Tell your friends about it. Share it online, whatever you want to do. We also have the online platform where you can listen to this live every single week on SuperTalk.fm, and you can find the 100.9 section of that and listen to this live on the station. Or you can go back and on demand listen to it as well. So SuperTalk, just a multimedia frenzy. We're doing such a great job over SuperTalk, and great leadership, great people to work with. I'm so happy to be involved with SuperTalk. I've been on this platform for almost 4 years now, and with the podcast with Thunder and Lightning, and it's just been a lot of wonderful people to work with, and now officially having my own radio show, it's really cool to be a part of the family here. So I certainly appreciate all of them. Appreciate Sebastian over at the station for taking care of us, sending us to commercial breaks, keeping me in line. That's the toughest thing to do, but I appreciate everybody that's involved with this. All right, I mentioned to you when we started the show, we were going to hear from Jeff Lebby. We were going to hear a couple of clippings from his press conference. I'm not going to give you the entire press conference. You can go listen to it online. It's about 11 minutes. Jeff Lebby is not a guy that does a whole lot of filibustering. He is going to get up there. He's going to get his stuff in. He's going to get out. And we usually have about a 10 to 12-minute press conference. I think it was 11 minutes and 18 seconds for week one. And there was a lot of coach speak in there, I'm not going to lie. That's who Jeff Lebby is. He's not a guy that has very strong opinions. You're not going to have a Mike Leach press conference when it comes to Jeff Lebby. But I did think we learned a few things, and I enjoyed hearing his thoughts on the offensive line, defensive line, how they're approaching the start of the season and things like that. But he kind of starts off his press conference talking about the week ahead, facing Southern Miss, and also some thoughts on the offensive line, which we will get into probably in our next segment. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But here's a couple of thoughts from Jeff Lebby as he previews the week ahead as Mississippi State is getting set to take on Southern Miss.
Your entire coaching career, have you ever gone into week one saying, yep, we've done enough, we're ready, this is as close as we can get?
I haven't. I can't imagine what that would feel like, but plenty of work to be done. Our guys are really, really excited about the opportunity at hand, man. We got a great challenge in front of us, in-state opponent that, again, is looking completely different just from a personnel standpoint than they did a year ago. So excited about the opportunity.
Coach, looking at the depth chart, the offensive line construction is a little interesting. Albert at left, and then Zach Owens, a guy that just got here, possibly starting kind of at right guard. Kind of take us through your thoughts about the offensive line.
Yeah, I have continued to talk about just those 5 guys to 8 guys being able to play winning football for us. So you're going to see some guys at different positions. We've got multiple guys that are going to play multiple spots inside of this week one as we – again, try to get to where, man, we've got 8 guys that can go play winning football for us. So those guys they've worked in a great way. They've done some really good things. We're going to need to be able to go play 8 guys through the season at least to do what we want to do.
Coach, have you become very accustomed to watching 2024 Marshall football? How confident do you feel about what Southern Miss is going to look like on Saturday?
Yeah, I think there's some unknowns. I really do. You think about it from a personnel standpoint, there's some differences. But, again, I expect to see 6, maybe 7 starters for Southern Miss defensively coming from Marshall. So you would think there'd be some carryover. Again, people study themselves nonstop. I think week one it's always a little bit up in the air. Offensively, their offensive coordinator and how that situation is set up for them and not calling it last year. You got to go back a couple of years to be able to watch that tape. So have great familiarity, understand his identity and what he wants to do. But, man, until you get out there and you go see it, there's some unknown.
All right, so Jeff Lebby giving a few thoughts to lead off his press conference. He also started to dig in a little bit. I asked him about the left tackle situation. We heard the first part of that. Albert Reese was listed as the starter at left tackle, not Jimothy Lewis, who's been a guy that a lot of people thought was going to start. So Albert Reese listed as the top tackle there. In full disclosure, I missed the first 3 questions because I was trying to find a parking space out there. So I asked my own question about the offensive line. And we also have some thoughts in here about the defense and the difference that this group has had this year in year 2 under Coleman Hutzler. Let's hear Lebby's thoughts on the defense and the offensive line as he gets ready for game 1.
Coach, one thing I've been hearing a lot from the defense is how much more togetherness they have as a group this year. Kind of talk about what you've seen from that side of the ball and, their chemistry and, how they are playing more together as a team.
Yeah, I think the immediacy of noticing it for me is in walkthroughs and their urgency and how they communicate, how they align, how they talk, how everybody's getting the rep. To me, when you watch our defense walk through right now, there's this great sense of urgency and there's this great sense of togetherness. And so that's been fun for me to watch, fun to see. We've got to continue to build on that. I think they really have taken to Coach Hutz's edge and his passion and how he coaches and runs around every single day, every minute of every single day. And there's been this great amount of buy-in in that. And so, again, excited about that unit being able to go play well on Saturday morning.
Coach, sorry if I missed this earlier, but Albert Reese listed him at left tackle. I know he's been running some of the right tackle and guard too. What did you see from him to put him at that spot, and what's your opinion on what you've seen from left tackle to this point?
And we talked about it a little bit ago, but we're going to roll at that position. There's going to be multiple guys play at that spot, and we'll have a couple of guys inside the game play a couple of different positions. Those guys will be guys that have played a bunch of football that we feel like can handle that. But we're fighting every single day to make sure that we're playing the right guys at the right position. That's why they call us coach. And as we get closer and closer, we'll dial into exactly what that rotation is going to look like Saturday.
Coach, obviously everyone wants to win their first game. That's the goal for everybody. But what else would you like to see out of your team this week to, as a coach, that would make you happy?
Yeah, I do. I want to see our guys play with incredible effort, incredible physicality, and be able to go execute and play clean. We talk about that's how we will win. That's playing winning football. And so I do. I want to have the ability to get off that field, be 1-0, and go play clean. And for us, that's going to be a huge part of it. Pre-snap penalties, taking care of the football, hidden yardage, and special teams. That'll be a big piece of it.
All right, so that is Jeff Lebby. Jeff Lebby gave those were like 6 questions in those 2 sound bites that I put in there, and it covered maybe 4 or 5 minutes of time. He just really flies through this stuff. But some good thoughts from Jeff Lebby. And I really wanted to know about the offensive line. There's some interesting things in that depth chart, and that's what I really wanted to get into as we get into segment number 3 here coming up after the break. I want to talk about this depth chart. There's been a lot of discussion about it the first part of the week. What to make of it, what's true, what might be untrue. There's plenty of thoughts coming your way. We're going to take one more break before we discuss that. This is Talkin Dawgs, Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9 in the Golden Triangle.
When you're a Yellow Jacket, school spirit isn't just for game day, it's every day. That's why the Citizens Bank created the School Stash debit card for Starkville-Oktibbeha schools. With every transaction, select credit instead of debit, and we'll donate 5 cents to the district. It's an easy way to show your pride and support local schools with every purchase. Stop by 201 Highway 12 and get your School Stash debit card today. The Citizens Bank, in your corner every day. Member FDIC.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity and transmission options. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
At Fort County Electric Power Association, we're always trying to find ways to make life better for our member owners. From offering expert advice on how to use less power and save money, to on-bill financing for energy efficiency improvements in HVAC, to showing the benefits and practical uses of our new all-electric vehicle, we work to earn our members' trust through honesty, integrity, and service. Fort County Electric Power, improving the lives of all we touch.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Find a friend in the banking business at Bank Oklahoma and take that friend with you using Bank Oklahoma mobile banking. Manage your accounts, make deposits, payments, and transfers anywhere and anytime. Bank Oklahoma offers small town feel with big city convenience and the personalized attention you deserve. I'm Joy Faulkner at Bank Oklahoma. Better together, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs on SuperTalk 100.9.
We are back here in the studio, the Alpha Insurance Studio. Jess Brantley over at Alpha Insurance sponsoring Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk each and every week, and you can go find Jess over in West Point or call him at 494-4142. Start saving today with Alpha Insurance. Jess Brantley, there for you in your time of need, there for you when times are toughest. Those guys are right there with you, with your pastor, with your doctor, with whoever. These guys are as ingrained in your family as any, because that's what they're there for. Because when something bad happens, when a storm hits, when you have a tragic death, whatever, these are the people that take care of you. You're doing business with them. You trust them. You want to be able to trust them. You can trust Jess. I've known him for a long time. I do business with Alpha Insurance, and I can tell you it is the place to be whenever you're trying to save, but also when you're trying to be taken care of. These guys will do it. Homeowners insurance, life insurance, car insurance, they got it all for you right there at Alpha, and you can go find Jess in West Point today. All right, so last segment we talked about Jeff Lebby. We heard some thoughts from him. Again, if you missed any of that, you can go check this out on the podcast on demand whenever you want to. Go follow the show. It'll go right to your phone every single week whenever it downloads. Mississippi State released this depth chart, and I just want to go ahead and put out a public service announcement to take these depth charts with a grain of salt. Now, I think last year, for the most part, we saw kind of the same starters that were listed on there. There were some guys that were moved around on the depth chart that were different. I'm not telling you that this depth chart is completely inaccurate. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, the starters on here are not going to start on Saturday. I think that for the most part, it looks like what I expected. The wide receivers are exactly what I expected. Jordan Mosley, Anthony Evans, and Seydou Traore. None of those three guys have an "or" beside their name, which to me tells me that that's a solidified spot. The other people that have solidified spots, in my opinion, based on this depth chart, are Blake Shapen. There's no "or." Albert Reese at left tackle, who we discussed briefly, and Blake Steen at right tackle. Those appear to be for sure starters. Davon Booth and Fluff Bothwell are an "or" on the depth chart. I expect Davon Booth is going to be your starter at running back. If you look at the other offensive line spots, Jacoby Jackson is an "or" with Luke Work at left guard. Cannon Boone is an "or" at center with Brennan Smith, and Zach Flapjack Owen, who has maybe next to Porkchop Womack the best offensive line nickname of all time. He's also listed as an or with Trevor Mayberry. I think as it stands, that is your starting five on the offensive line. Albert Reese at left tackle, left to right, Jacoby Jackson, Cannon Boone, Zach Owens, Blake Steen. That's who I expect to be on the field for snap one on Saturday at Southern Miss. And so the first thing that people noticed, and I heard some rumblings about this over the weekend, is Albert Reese at left tackle. This is the first we've heard of Albert Reese at left tackle. He's been working at right tackle. He's been working at guard. I think he might have played some left tackle over his career very briefly. But for the most part, he's been kind of solidified on the right side of the line and mostly right tackle. And right guard is, quite frankly, where we've expected him. But he's at left tackle. So what's going on there? So it's a bit concerning to me. Albert Reese is a fifth-year player for Mississippi State. I think a solid offensive lineman. He's been solid his whole career. I think his best position is interior, specifically at right guard. He's had some struggles at times at right tackle, but he's played a lot of right tackle, and he's serviceable there. At the most important position on the offensive line, left tackle, it is concerning that they haven't, not just that Albert is there, it's that they haven't locked that spot down. That's a spot that you want to have completely solidified before you start the season. And Mississippi State does not have that spot solidified. Now, there's no or on the line there. There is no Albert Reese or Timothy Lewis or whatever. So, it looks like to me Albert Reese is clearly the starter, but the fact that it was a week before the first game when we first heard Albert Reese was going to be starting or was playing left tackle, that to me is a little concerning. I'm not going to lie. And I can understand the freak out that we saw on social media and on the message board with Albert Reese listed at left tackle. He could come out on Saturday and he could completely blow us all away. I would welcome that with open arms. I think against Southern Miss, he certainly should look dominant. If you're going up against Southern Miss defensive line and Albert Reese is struggling to protect the edge, that is a massive problem for Blake Shapen and for Mississippi State. So that's a little bit of a concern. But other than that, this depth chart to me does not really present a whole lot of problems in my mind. I think depth charts in general are just kind of pushed out because they're supposed to be. Southern Miss didn't even put a depth chart out. I think Mississippi State could have very easily not put one out either. It might have gone over better. But what you see a lot of times in these depth charts, and I'll present kind of my thoughts on it, you will see a lot of guys who have kind of worked hard all year. They've been the model teammate. They are the upperclassmen. You'll see a lot of those guys get listed ahead of other players based solely on the fact that they are reliable or they're getting kind of rewarded for that. So I think that's what we're seeing on some of this. Specifically, maybe some guys that are listed as or. So we'll go through the defense. Brandon Jennings is listed as or with Malik Silla. I expect Jennings to get the start. Clearly be State's top jack. I'm not really thinking anything different from that, but I like seeing Malik Silla there. If you can get some good stuff out of him rushing off the edge, that's great. Kedrick Bingley-Jones is listed as the starting defensive tackle, and then DJ Reed or Ashun Shepard. Kedrick Bingley-Jones was injured a lot last year, had a shoulder issue. We talked to him on Monday. He discussed feeling so much more healthy this year and also not having a lot of anxiety about his shoulder popping in and out. So we'll see what he's able to do there. He's really not been able to churn out a lot of production over the course of his career at North Carolina and at Mississippi State. So not having that's kind of the group that's a little concerning there at defensive tackle with Bingley, Jones, Reed, and Shepard. There's not a lot of production there from those three. And it really kind of depends, I guess, on what kind of front they run. This is kind of listed more as a 3-3-5, I guess. Jere Bledsoe has garnered a lot of positive conversation in the offseason. Former Texas defensive lineman. He's been a guy since the spring has kind of emerged as a clear starter in the middle. And that's good. I love hearing that. This guy, it's never really been a total concern with him. He's been kind of running with the ones most of the time. And the light seems to have turned on for him after a couple of non-productive years at Texas. He's a redshirt junior. You need him to be good. Calvin Dinkins and Jamil Burrows in there. I like the depth there. That's three solidly built guys that are talented. They just need to stay healthy. Defensive end, Deontay Anderson or Will Whitson. I think Anderson has had a really good training camp. Whitson has been one of the more impressive transfer guys. Travion Williams listed as the number 3 guy is a little concerning that he has not jumped up and taken over a spot. You got Zachary Tillman at the dime. I expect to see him on the field a lot. He's there with Darian Gillette, who's another Texas guy. Nick Mitchell at the mic and Jalen Smith. That's garnered some concern with State fans. Isaac Smith, Tony Mitchell with the Sam, with Tyler Woodard. Jet Jefferson or Diego Broomfield. I expect Jefferson and Kelly Jones to both be the starters, but they're listed as or with Diego Broomfield and Javen Williams. And then Brylan Lanier and Jerron Manning at one safety spot, Hunter Washington and Jerron Manning at the other safety spot. I think Jerron Manning is going to steal a lot of those reps there. So it's not a depth chart that brought a lot of positivity from the fans because there's not a lot of transfers that are clear starters and things like that, and that's caused a lot of issues with the fans. But let's wait and see what it looks like. I want to wait and see what it looks like whenever the lights turn on. Who's getting the most reps on Saturday? That's what I want to see. But one thing that Jeff Lebby made very clear is that a lot of guys are going to play, especially up front. We're going to see 8 or 9 guys on the offensive line. We're going to see 8 or 9 guys on the defensive line. Those are going to be a lot of rotations up front. So let's just wait. Everybody just calm down a little bit. Let's just wait. Let's see what happens Saturday. All right. So we're going to take another break. When we get back, it's time to talk a little high school football. Cannot wait. This is Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk with SuperTalk 100.9.
Bank Oklahoma is committed to the communities we serve. We offer the small town feel with big city convenience and give you the personalized attention you deserve. Come see me, Gene Childs, Community Bank President in Houston and Manatee. We have locations in Aberdeen, Bruce, Houston, Manatee, Oklahoma, and Tupelo. Bank Oklahoma, where we are better together. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Landowners, are you ready to turn your timber into real value? At Good Hope Land and Timber, we specialize in helping landowners like you make smart, sustainable decisions. Whether you're planting a final harvest, thinning a stand, development thinning, or managing your forest long-term, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We're trained in the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and follow best management practices to protect your land and maximize your return. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
At 4 County Electric Power Association, we're always trying to find ways to make life better for our member owners. From offering expert advice on how to use less power and save money, to on-bill financing for energy efficiency improvements in HVAC, to showing the benefits and practical uses of our new all-electric vehicle, we work to earn our members' trust through honesty, integrity, and service. 4 County Electric Power, improving the lives of all we touch.
Looking for a no-nonsense tractor with reliable power that's easy to use? Then check out Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors at H&R AgriPower in Columbus. These efficient, all-around chore tractors offer performance features that meet the demands of your task without exceeding your budget. Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors deliver all the pulling power and hydraulics you need for loading, blading, tilling, mowing, baling, and more. To learn more about Case IH Farm All Utility A-Series tractors, visit H&R AgriPower, your local Case IH dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
Hello, I'm Lee Burrell, proudly serving Oktibbeha County. The Citizens Bank has been serving our community for over 116 years, and I'm proud to be part of this vital community bank. With over 22 years of financial experience in commercial, mortgage, and consumer lending, I'm here to help with all your loan and deposit needs. Call me at 662-323-1420 or stop by my office located at 201 Highway 12 and say hello. I'm looking forward to meeting and talking with you soon. The Citizens Bank, www.thecitizensvilla.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on SuperTalk 100.9.
Welcome back to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here on SuperTalk 100.9, the Golden Triangle, and wherever you get your podcast or on supertalk.fm in the SuperTalk app. Appreciate you guys for checking in, listening to me for another week. If you missed any of this, you can go download this podcast online. It'll give you a new episode every single week. So we've talked a lot about Mississippi State. And I had a lot of people reach out to me the last couple of weeks. Man, I love the show. Great stuff. Love hearing your thoughts on Mississippi State and all that. I would love to hear more high school sports. Say no more. If you guys want more high school sports, I'll be glad to bring it your way. I absolutely love high school football. As you know, I'm at the Starkville Daily News as well. And I cover high school football in our area. Starkville Academy, East Webster, Choctaw County, Eupora. We're really excited about our teams. Thursday night is our first game as Eupora will be traveling to Hamilton and kicking off the season there in 2A football. We got Choctaw County and East Webster, a rematch of the Class 3A North State Championship. East Webster moved down to 2A this year. And Choctaw County has they've stayed at 3A, but man, Winona moves into their district. They got also moving in their district Knoxville County. It is going to be a battle every single week there. And then, East Webster moving into a district again with rival Eupora. Kemper County is in that district. Velma Jackson's in that district. It's going to be a lot of fun for our schools that I would consider kind of the middle grouping in the state of Mississippi to the smaller schools. And those programs have just been fluent. They have been really strong for a long time. East Webster's really consistent. Choctaw County has become a power in Class 3A. I think they found the right guy a couple of years ago. And Dylan Mitchell, who is the coach, who's the son of legendary head coach Jamie Mitchell, who was at Starkville for so many years. Dylan brought Choctaw County its first ever state championship. You had Winona. You had Ware and Ackerman consolidate in I think it was 2013, and those proud programs had won so many state championships. Choctaw County had never won one for the entire county, and they got to do that last year. It was just such a cool story seeing them accomplish that against Knoxville County and Camario Taylor. That team was amazing. And this year, you look at them, they got their quarterback back in KJ Cork, who I think is going to be excellent for Choctaw County. Jeremiah Miller was our offensive player of the year in the area. That's for Starkville Academy, East Webster, all those teams in our area. Jeremiah Miller was the guy that I chose as our offensive player of the year. Most of their games last year were over in the first half. They were running clocks in the second half. I think they had 9 or 10 running clock games. Jeremiah Miller rushed for over 2,000 yards, and he was on the bench in the second half for most of those games. So he's a kid that I don't think enough people are talking about. Having them back is huge. I talked to Ryan Price from East Webster on Monday, and the challenge with Choctaw County, when you see them get off the bus, it doesn't even look like a 3A team. They're so big. They're so athletic. They got great numbers. It's a real challenge with the talent that they have over there. It's kind of been a sleeping giant. And I tell these coaches when they come to Choctaw County, I've covered 4 different coaches now at Choctaw County, and I've told really the last 2 or 3, you're at a sleeping giant. I think Choctaw County has the potential to be one of the best programs in the state of Mississippi. I'm not saying that because I live in Choctaw County. I truly believe that they have everything they need to be a year in and year out championship contender. And now they've built a multi-million-dollar stadium over there in the heart of Ackerman. That's one of the best stadiums in the state of Mississippi. If you haven't seen it, you need to get over there and see that Choctaw County team. They're a fun team to watch. It's a great group of kids, a great group of coaches. And that's what I really love about this entire area. These teams here, they live and breathe football. They play the game the right way. They play it. They play hard. They love it, and they respect it. And every single year, like, we rarely have a team that I would say is just not very competitive. All of our teams are in the playoffs every year. They're advancing in the playoffs. They're competing for championships. It's a great area to cover. I've been truly blessed to be able to cover these teams. And so Choctaw County and East Webster and Eupora, Starkville Academy, what Chase Nicholson has done there for so many years, has been great. And now Starkville. So Starkville and Choctaw County met at the Jamboree at Louisville last week. And Starkville handled him pretty good. You have to remember that's a 7A versus a 3A. And I really I love the fact that Dylan Mitchell goes out there and schedules these teams, even in a Jamboree setting, just to see where they're at. Last year they scheduled Louisville, and they won that game. And, these are usually like a half. They'll play like a half with the varsity or something like that. So that's something to consider. But it was 14-7 after the first quarter. It was 21-7 at the half with Starkville and Choctaw County. And, Kingston Johnson is a kid that I'm really excited about seeing this year at Starkville. Quarterback that transferred in from Louisiana. Someone asked on our message board the other day about Kingston Johnson and kind of where he falls as far as a kid getting recruited in the state of Mississippi. And I think that before it's said and done, he is going to be a guy that we're talking about in 7A this year as a legit rising star. I think that he has added a different element to the Starkville team that maybe wasn't there when John Carr was hired earlier this year. I think he is a player that they haven't really pushed out there in the open just yet. I've seen that a lot with coaches, that they know they got something good there, and they don't quite want to show everybody just yet. But I think here in week 1, I think on Friday, you're going to see some things from him that, he starts to garner a little bit of a pop, a little bit of a he's going to have a little bit of an aura around him. Great kid, handles himself the right way, well-spoken at that age. You try to interview me as a sophomore in high school, I don't know if it would have gone very well. I used to try to do that. I used to broadcast as a sophomore. That was my first year broadcasting, and it wasn't pretty sometimes. So it's not always pretty, but this kid really handles himself. I think he's going to lead a college program's offense one day really well. Like, I can see it budding, and I've seen some really good quarterbacks come through here, and Starkville is on a run here, man. They had Brady Davis, who I thought was excellent in 2014, and then you follow that up a couple of years later, and Luke Altmaier comes in and is really impressive, and in 9th grade was spinning it like not many guys could. And then you see Trey Petty come up as a sophomore and just had that. He had a little bit of a vibe about him that was special. Last year, I thought they handled that quarterback situation well, but you got a guy that you convert over from defense, and he's kind of an athlete playing quarterback. I think that you have a player here in Kingston Johnson that is a pure quarterback that's going to be able to do a lot of things for you. He can throw the football. He can run it. He's going to be a difference for Starkville. I'm really interested to see what this team looks like on Friday night. This is a huge test against Oak Grove right off the bat. It's not a team that Starkville sees a whole lot. You're coming from Hattiesburg up here to Starkville. If you're Oak Grove, this is a team that they played in the state championship a couple of years ago, but it's not a matchup that happens a whole lot. So these teams aren't familiar with each other like a West Point or a Louisville is with Starkville. This is going to be a really, really interesting matchup. I'm intrigued by the possibilities that happen here on Friday night. So super excited about that. Super excited for the season beginning. And you guys can tune in across the state of Mississippi. If you want to check out Starkville on Friday, I encourage you to pull up the live stream. I think it's going to be on Starkville's website. I'll tweet out some links and things like that. I'll be on the call with Jay Perry on Friday night for that one. Super excited about it. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. So you guys make sure that you tune in and support Starkville High School. If you're a Mississippi State fan and you don't really have a team, get behind the Yellow Jackets, man. Starkville and Mississippi State are coming together like never before, and I do want to talk a little bit about that when we come back from the final break. I do want to talk about the partnership that Mississippi State and Starkville has now had together, and where things are going for the city. All right, we'll be right back for the final segment of the day coming up here on Super Talk 100.9. This is Talkin Dawgs, Robbie Faulk.
When you're a Yellow Jacket, school spirit isn't just for game day, it's every day. That's why the Citizens Bank created the School Stash debit card for Starkville Oktibbeha schools. With every transaction, select credit instead of debit, and we'll donate 5 cents to the district. It's an easy way to show your pride and support local schools with every purchase. Stop by 201 Highway 12 and get your School Stash debit card today. The Citizens Bank, in your corner every day. Member FDIC.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity and transmission options. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer at 841 South Frontage Road in Columbus. H&R AgriPower has the power to get you more.
At Fort County Electric Power Association, we're always trying to find ways to make life better for our member owners. From offering expert advice on how to use less power and save money, to on-bill financing for energy efficiency improvements in HVAC, to showing the benefits and practical uses of our new all-electric vehicle, we work to earn our members' trust through honesty, integrity, and service. Fort County Electric Power, improving the lives of all we touch.
Hey, this is William Wells. When you drop your vehicle off with us, you can trust us with our ASC certified technician. We'll take care of everything you need. Brakes, struts, shocks, alignments, check engine light, tune-up, tire sensor, tires, everything. Stop by any of our 3 locations in Starkville, West Point, and Columbus, and let our team give you the championship service you deserve.
Looking to get the most out of your land? Trust the experts at Good Hope Land and Timber, your full-service land and timber company with years of experience in forestry and land management. From land and timber purchasing, timber management, plantation thinning, and development harvesting, our team handles it all, safely, efficiently, and sustainably. Our experienced logging force is trained to the highest standards under the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and best management practices. Call me, Jake Moody, at 601-416-6266. Good Hope Land and Timber, locally trusted, landowner approved.
Find a friend in the banking business at Bank Oklahoma. A friend who's there when you open your first account, when you buy that first car, and when you find the home you've been working for. At Bank Oklahoma, you'll find local people with local answers, ready to serve you with the customer care you deserve. Hi, I'm Tim Alford, Community Bank President, Bank Oklahoma in Aberdeen. Come see me or call me at 662-369-2772. Bank Oklahoma, your friend in the banking business, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk on Super Talk 100.9.
Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk here for one more segment. It's been a good one. It's been a good one today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with my voice, which is starting to quickly fade as we get into midweek. It might be for the best. Some people are probably tired of listening to me from day to day. If you turn on your app and you hear Thunder and Lightning every day with myself and Brian Haydad Monday through Friday, or if you see me typing things online, you might be tired of that too. Maybe my fingers need to go next. Who knows? But we've had a great show. We talked about Mississippi State's depth chart as we get ready for Game 1. Mississippi State versus Southern Miss on Saturday at 11 a.m. on ESPN. It's finally a chance to stop talking and speculating about what Mississippi State looks like. I don't know. I truly do not know what to expect when this team runs out on the field on Saturday. I think they're going to be good to go for that game. I think they're going to be able to win that ball game. But I truly don't know. I don't know what Southern Miss is going to look like. I don't know if this team at Mississippi State has been able to translate everything over to where they want it to be this year. It's one of those deals where we're just all going to find out together. So, I know there's a lot that has to happen for this football team to truly get back on track, and Jeff Lebby needs it to happen. Because I feel like things are really moving in a good direction for Mississippi State and for the city of Starkville. And that's why football is so important. You have to get football back to where it needs to be. Because things at Mississippi State are starting to trend up. Things in Starkville are trending up. There's a boom happening in Starkville like I have never seen. I've never seen it in my life. Student enrollment's up. New businesses are coming into town. The restaurant and the bar scene in the city of Starkville is amazing compared to what it was 10 years ago. We had the Landing. I was there the other day. I think it's a great thing for the Cotton District to have a bar that size. It's not just a bar. They have good food in there. It's a place to come in and watch games. You can go up on that rooftop on a nice fall day and sit out there, have a drink, have a plate of nachos or pizza or whatever. I love Board Town right across the street, my favorite pizza place in Starkville by far. Two Brothers, you guys are well aware my love for Two Brothers and the older brother. I love Bulldog Burger. The Cotton District is really booming, but not like it's about to be. In about 2 to 3 years, the Cotton District is going to be one of the hottest spots in the SEC. And I'll tell you why. Last week, the city of Starkville and Mississippi State, in joint connection, announced the Crossroads development coming to Starkville. It's literally across the road from the football stadium. You're going to be able to walk across a land bridge from an upscale hotel called Hotel Madeline, with a rooftop bar overlooking the stadium. You're going to be able to walk across that bridge and go to a football game. There's not going to be many places in the SEC with real estate right there, that close to the stadium, where you can go have drinks. And I'm talking about in the Cotton District too, which is already a great spot right now, but it's going to be a lot more accessible. That district there, the Cotton District, the Crossroads, that is going to be incredible for sports fans. And then right across the street, the U.S. Grant Library coming to Starkville. It's great to see all of these good things happening for the city of Starkville. I couldn't be happier. I think the construction begins on that in October. It's going to be about 2 or 3 years, so it's going to take some time. But good things are coming to Starkville. Hopefully good things are coming to Mississippi State and for you this weekend. I hope that you guys have a great weekend, that you enjoy high school football, college football. Maybe I'll see you down in there in Hattiesburg. And if so, say hey. If not, I'll catch you next week. Talkin Dawgs, Robbie Faulk, sponsored by Alpha Insurance, Jess Brantley. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you down the road.
You've been listening to Talkin Dawgs with Robbie Faulk.
Mississippi State with a victory here.
Listen each Wednesday at 9 a.m. on SuperTalk 100.9.
Don't you know I'm gonna make it with my friends? I promised myself I'd get by. Said I'm gonna try it with a true heart.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.